right, it's time to get ready for our Unit 5 test. And so we'll go through this. Again, let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with. The first one we're going to do by elimination. For elimination, I want one of the variables to be the same number, but opposite signs. And so 2 and 3, I can see they're both 2 and 3, so we'll make them go up to 6. So I'll make this one, I'll go -3 on this one and +2 on this one. That'll make this one go to -6 and this one go to +6. And so we'll have -6x, -6y equals -24. And we'll have +6x, +6y, and +24. And so now when we add these together, those cancel out, those cancel out, and those cancel out. We have 0 equals 0. It's a true statement, and so whenever everything cancels out and you're left with a true statement, the answer is all real numbers. Everything works. For number 2, I could either make 2 and 3 go up to 6, or I could make 5 and 7 go up to 35, and so I'll go ahead and do 6. I'll multiply this one by, we'll do +3 and this one by -2. And so I'll get 6x minus 15y is equal to 6. And -6x plus 14y is equal to -2. And so those cancel out, they're eliminated. I get -y equals 4, divide by the -1, and y equals -4. And then to get my x value, I'll plug in the -4 into my y. It doesn't matter which one, I'll choose the top one. And so 2x minus 5 times -4 is equal to 2. So 2x plus 20 is equal to 2. I'll subtract the 20 over to get 2x equals -18 and divide by 2 to get x equals -9. The next one we'll do by substitution. For substitution, we want to solve for one variable, plug it into the other equation, and then solve. And so I think this one will be the easiest just because it's positive. And so I'm going to solve for the y first. So 4x plus y equals -7. And so I'm going to subtract the 4x over to get y equals -4x minus 7. And so this box is equivalent to y. And so I'm going to plug it in to the y on the other equation. And so 3x minus -4x minus 7 is equal to 0. So we need to distribute that negative. So 3x plus 4x plus 7 equals 0. That becomes 7x. We'll subtract the 7 over equals -7. And so x equals -1. And we'll take that -1 and we'll plug it back in right here. And so we get -4 times -1 minus 7. So it becomes 4 minus 7, which equals -3. And that's my y value. And this one's going to be the easiest one to solve on this one. So 2x plus y equals 6. I'll subtract the 2x over to get y equals -2x plus 6. Again, this box is equivalent to y, so we'll plug it into the y on the other equation. And so 3x plus 4, -2x plus 6 is equal to 4. We'll distribute this 4. 3x minus 8x plus 24 equals 4. We'll subtract the 24 over, while also combining like terms, so it becomes -5x equals -20. Divide by -5 to get x equals 4. And then we'll take that 4 and plug it into the x. And so -2 times 4 plus 6. -8 plus 6, which is -2. All right. Now we'll do solving by graphing. So to graph, I need to get the y by itself on both of them. So on my first one, I've got x minus 4y equals -12. I'll subtract the x over. -4y equals -x minus 12. Divide by -4 to get y equals 1/4 x plus 3. And so this 3 is my y-intercept. I'm going to start at 3. And my slope tells me go up 1, right 4. Or down 1, left 4. And then keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my other equation, I'm going to subtract 2x over to get y equals negative 2x plus 2. So again, this one has my y-intercept of 2. And for this one, we're going down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. So this one doesn't have a great intersection point. And so I'm gonna go ahead and check it in my calculator, just make sure I did it correctly. I'll start by just doing matrices, that's the easiest way to check. Let's say 2 by 3, 1, negative 4, negative 12, 2, 1, 2. Do the RREF. And so yeah, it's not a great number. And so I'll go into my y equals negative 2x plus 2. We've got 1/4 x plus 3. We'll graph it. Second trace, intersect, enter, enter, enter. And so there's my answer. The intersection point is at negative 0.44 to 0.88. On this one again, we'll solve for y first, and so negative 4x plus 12y is equal to negative 16. We'll add the 4x over. 12y equals 4x minus 16, and divide by 12 to get y equals 1/3 x minus, and we'll divide by 4 right here, so 4 over 3. So we'll add 3x over here. 9y equals 3x plus 3. Divide by 9 to get y equals 1/3 x plus 1/3. And so here's one thing I see on this one. They both have the exact same slope, but they do have different y-intercepts. And so this one's going to start at 1/3, which is just right there. And we're going up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. And then this one's starting at negative 4/3, so that's negative 1 and 1/3. And again, we're going up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. These lines, since they have the same slope, they're parallel, they're never gonna hit each other. No solution right there. All right, number 7, tickets to a local movie were sold at $6 for adults, $4.50 for students. If 110 tickets were sold for a total of $615, how many tickets of each type were sold? So we've got 2 variables, which means we'll have 2 equations. And so I'm gonna have my adults, my students, and my answers. And so first one, 110 tickets were sold. So my adult tickets plus my student tickets equals a total of 110 tickets. They made $615, so if we make $6 for every adult, plus $4.50 for every student, they made $615. This is now matrix ready, and so I'm gonna go into my calculator, and I'm gonna press second matrix, go over to edit. It's a 2 by 3, so we got 1, 1, and 110. 6, 4.5, and 615. We're gonna quit to the home screen, go back into the matrix, go to the RREF of matrix A, and that gives me my answer. And so again, my first row was adults, second row is students. So this is my adults, this is my students. And it asks how many of each type are sold. So we have 80 adults and 30 students. This one, your bank charges you a fixed monthly fee for banking there, and a charge for each check you write. So those are my two variables. 1 month you wrote 23 checks, we're charged $16.70. The next month you wrote 18 checks, and we're charged at $15.95. How much is your fixed monthly charge, and how much do they charge per check? And so I've got my fixed charge, my checks, and my answers. That's gonna be my matrix. And so my first set, it says I've got my fixed, which that's not gonna change, plus we wrote 23 checks, and it was charged $16.70. And my next one, we had our fixed charge, plus they wrote 18 checks, and it charged $15.95. And so now we're matrix ready. I'll go back into my matrix. 123, 1670, 118, 1595. And there's my answers. And it says, how much do they charge per check? So on this one, my fixed is $13.25. My charge per check is 15 cents. And that answers my question. On the first night of the concert, Fish Ticket Outlet collected $67,200 on the sale of 1,600 lawn seats and 2,400 reserve seats. On the second night, they collected that much money by selling 2,000 lawn seats and 2,400 reserve seats. Find the cost of each kind of seat. So on this one, we have lawn, we have reserved, and my answer. Again, we have two variables, so we'll have two equations. And so on the first one, we had 1,600 lawn plus 2,400 reserved. And we made 67,200. On the second night, they collected 73,200, and they had 2,000 lawn and 2,400 reserved. So now we're matrix ready. 1,600, 2,400, 67,200, 2,000, 2,400, 73,200. And so my lawn costs 15, my reserved costs 18, and it wants each kind, so that answers my question. All right, on these, we gotta make sure they're in matrix order. We've got X's, we have Y's, we have Z's, and equals my numbers. This one's already ready to go, matrix ready. I don't have to move anything. And so I'm gonna go ahead and go into my matrix. This one's a 3 by 4, and we have 1, -1, 1, -8, 2, 3, -3, 4, 1, 2, 7, and 13. And there's my answers right there. So my X is -4, my Y is 5, and my Z is 1. Number 11, it's not in order. So I've got to rearrange things to make it in order with my X, my Y, my Z equals my answer. So this one I've got 2X, and I have to move the Y over. Anytime you cross the equal sign, it changes sign. So -Y, a positive Z equals -2. This one, everything's on the same side, just need to rearrange it. So we've got 1X, 3Y, -Z equals 10. And we've got 1X, there's no Y's, there's 2 Z's, and I've got to move the -8 over, making it +8. So 2, -1, 1, -2, 1, 3, -1, 10, 1, 0, 2, 8. And there's my answers. I'll press math, enter to get my fractions. And so my answers are -2/3, 5, and 13/3. All right, we got Shaggy, Fred, and Scooby-Doo went out to eat. Shaggy ordered 3 burgers, 2 fries, and a drink. So there's my variables. We got burgers, fries, drinks, and my answer. And so we've got 3 burgers, 2 fries, and one drink equals $6.45. That's Shaggy's equation. Fred ordered one burger, no fries, but a drink for $2.65. And Scooby ordered 7 burgers, 5 fries, no drinks for $11.80. How much does a drink cost? So ultimately, I just want the drink cost. So second matrix, we've got 3, 2, 1, 6.45, 1, 0, 1, 2.65, 7, 5, 0, 11.80. And there's my different costs. So that's, again, burgers, fries, drinks. So my burgers are $1.15. My fries are $0.75. And my drinks are $1.50. But it wants the drink cost, so that's the only answer that matters on this one. Contour selling adult tickets, children tickets, and senior citizen. So there's my 3 variables: adults, children, senior citizen. They sold a total of 235 tickets. So adults plus children plus senior citizens equals 235 tickets. They made that much money, so we're going to include the cost on this, $75A. So $75 for a ticket, plus $50 for a children, plus $60 for a senior citizen equals $15,225. And they sold 50 fewer children tickets than adult tickets, which means they sold more adult tickets. And so 50 fewer children means my children will be my adult number of tickets minus 50. So they sold 50 fewer children, however many adults, or subtract 50 to get the children. And so we'll move over the adults to get it matrix ready. So we have negative A, a positive C, and a negative 50. And so I'll put everything in. 75, 50, 60, 15, 225, negative 1, 1, 0, negative 50. And there's my types of tickets. And so this one they sold 125 adults, 75 children, and 35 senior citizens. And it wants how many of each type, and so that answers my question. Lisa found $4.45 in her car. She had a total of 82 coins consisting of pennies, dimes, and quarters. Pennies, dimes, and quarters. So 0.01, 1 cent is a penny. 0.1, that's a dime. 0.25, that's a quarter, equals $4.45. And she had 82 coins, so my number of pennies plus my number of dimes plus my number of quarters equals 82 total. And then the number of dimes she found was, there's my equals. So dimes is equal to 2 more than 5 times the number of quarters. So 5 times the number of quarters plus 2. So we'll subtract over the 5Q to get it matrix ready. And so we've got negative 5Q, we've got a positive D, and equals 2. So 0.01, 0.1, 0.25, 4.45, 111, 82, 01, negative 5, 2. And so we got pennies, dimes, and quarters. She had 50 pennies, 27 dimes, and 5 quarters. And it wants to know how many of each of them. So that answers my question. I will solve this one by graphing them. And so I need to solve for y on this one. X minus 2y is less than or equal to negative 4. We'll subtract the x over. Negative 2y is less than or equal to negative x minus 4. Divide by negative 2. And when we divide by that negative, it's going to flip my inequality. Be 1/2 x plus 2. So we'll start at 2. This one does have the equal, so it's going to be a solid line. We're going to go up 1 over 2. And since it's greater than, we would be shading above. So I'll just kind of lightly draw some lines up here. All right, my next one, I've got x plus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. We'll subtract the x over. So 2y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 4. We'll divide by 2 to get y is greater than or equal to, because we didn't divide by negative, negative 1/2 x plus 2. So we'll start at 2 again. This time we're going to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. And again, this one's a solid line because it does have that equals. And this one is greater, so we'd be shading above. So right now I can see my double shading is above both lines. Then my last one, y is less than or equal to 4. So I'm going to go to where y is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is a solid line going through there. So we're going to do a solid horizontal line. And this one says y is less than, so we're going to go below the line. And so this is going to be my darkest shaded region. And so any point inside this darkest shaded region, those are good for all three. Anything outside that darkest region, it would not be a solution to the system of inequalities. Next one, 2x plus y is greater than negative 6. We'll subtract the 2x over. So y is greater than negative 2x minus 6. And so we're going to start at negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go down 2, right 1, or up 2, left 1. And this one doesn't have the equals on it, and so we're going to be doing a dotted line. And this one's shaded above, so it'd be up here. Next one, x minus y is greater than or equal to 4. We'll subtract the x. Negative y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 4. Divide by that negative 1, which is going to flip my inequality. And so we're going to start at negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My slope tells me to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1, right 1. We got a solid line. This one's less than. And so right now, my common shading is going to be down in this area. And then my last one, 5x plus y is less than 10. We'll subtract the 5x over to get y is less than negative 5x plus 10. And so we'll come up here at 10. And we'll go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1. Down 5, right 1. And this one is a dotted line. And this one we're shading below it. And so my darkest region, we were above this dotted line. We were below this solid line. And now we're below this line. So it's going to be this region down here. So now we're going to write the system of inequalities. So it says in 1 week, Ed can mow at most 9 lawns and rake at most 7 lawns. He charges $20 for mowing, $10 for raking. So my variables are mowing and raking. And he can mow at most 9 lawns. So he can't mow over 9, but he can mow up to 9. He can rake up to 7. And he charges $20 for mowing, $10 for raking, and he needs to earn more, that's greater than, $120. So there's my inequalities right there. Linda works at the pharmacy for $15 an hour. She also babysits for $10 an hour. So there's her two things that she does. She does the pharmacy, I'll do P, and babysits for B. Linda needs to earn more than, so more than, that's greater than, and so 15 pharmacy hours plus 10 babysitting hours has to be more than $90. But she does not want to work more than 20 hours per week. So her number of hours that she works at the pharmacy plus the number of hours she babysits, she does not want to work more than, so that's going to be less than 20 hours. Tony wants to plant at least 40 acres of corn and at least 50 acres of soybean, so those will be my variables. And so if he wants to plant at least, the corn will be greater than or equal to 40. Could be anywhere 40 or more. My soybeans, at least 50 acres. And then he has 200 acres on which to plant. And so the amount of corn plus the amount of soybeans can't be over 200, less than or equal to 200. And the last two, 20 and 21, we're just gonna put them in and see if it works. And so if I put in 2 for X and 3 for Y, that would get, let's see, 6 plus 6 is greater than or equal to -2. 12 is greater than or equal to -2, that's a check. 2 plus 6 is less than or equal to 2, that's a no. It's got to check on all of them. So again, this first one, we're going to have -3 plus 2 is greater than or equal to -2. That's -1, and so that checks. The next one, we have -1 plus 2 is less than or equal to 2. That's going to be 1 is less than or equal to 2. That's another check. And then we have -2 minus 1 is less than or equal to 1. -3, that's a check. We'll go check the rest of them though just to make sure. So -6 plus 8 is greater than or equal to -2. That's 2, check. We've got -2 plus 8 is less than or equal to 2. That's a no. And this one will be easier because we have an x of 0. And so we've got 0 minus 4 is greater than or equal to -2. -4 is not greater than -2, so B is my only answer. And then last one, I'm going to start with these easy ones right here. X has to be greater than 1. 1's not greater than 1, so that's not it. 2, 3, 3, those are good. Y is greater than 0, all of those check. So now we just got to check these middle two. So we'll do B first. Plugging into this one, we've got 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 times 2 is 6, is greater than -6. 14 is greater than -6. 2 minus 6 is greater than or equal to -9. That's going to be -4 is greater than or equal to -9. That checks as well. We'll try 3 next. If I plug in 3 right there, that's going to be 12 plus 9 is greater than -6. Again, that checks. 3 minus 9 is greater than or equal to -9. That's -6 is greater than or equal to -9. Again, that checks. And then last one, we've got 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 3 times 4, which is 12, is greater than -6. That checks. And then we've got 3 minus, let's see, 3 times 4 is 12, is greater than or equal to -9. That's -9 is greater than or equal to -9. That checks as well. So B, C, and D all are good solutions. All right, and that finishes up our review. Good luck on the test. Let me know if there's any questions.